with more reactions. And this one is another Ren song. We're going to start the Money Game trilogy, and so we're going to do part 1 today. I'm very interested. I think his lyrics have a lot going on in them, and I appreciate them very much. Now, I put subtitles on this. Hopefully it works. I turned on subtitles, I should say, for this so that I can try to follow along, because he does speak rather fast, and you guys got on my case about Hi Ren and the fact that I was reading the lyrics and not like looking at the video. Sorry, I do that with a lot of the rappers on this channel because I want to appreciate the lyrics. And so I put on the subtitles. Hopefully it works, because it didn't work too well with Genesis. So I'm hoping it works better this time. And if it does, wonderful. We continue using that, and that way I can appreciate both at the same time. But if not, I might have to pull lyrics next time. Sorry, because I don't want to miss what he's saying. And like when he did Hi Ren, I will tell you, I had a lot to say on that one, and I could say a whole lot more, and I'm definitely not trying to go down that rabbit hole in the sense of the content of what we were talking about, but oh my gosh, I was just fascinated by that song. And so, you know, I'm going to be doing quite a few of his songs, so I'm going to set up a playlist, and you guys can check it out at the end of the video, or check it out on the actual channel itself if you want to see any of the songs I've covered and have any other recommendations, if you don't see something covered there. But we're going to start the Money Game trilogy with part 1 today. You already know, if you want to show love and support to the artist and or myself, because you know you want to, I link ways for you to do that in the description box below. Make sure you check it out at the very least for the artist and help them grow their channel, okay? So let's get started.
It's a strange time we're living in. War can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theory, strife, fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Nearly blinded by illusions to choose, but who's fooling who? A ball chained to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole war burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game.
Man. Guys, this guy, I freaking love him. I mean, we're only a minute in. I mean, look at everything that he is saying. It's all about the money. It's all it's ever about. Like, all the good or bad that ever happens, it's never really good. It's always because there's money involved with it. And especially the world's biggest tragedies, there's always some type of, you know, attached to it. So if you want to look at the, you know, or you want to take a look at the war that's going on right now, guaranteed there's money behind it. Guaranteed. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Man, that is... freaking love this guy.
His finger on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm, it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop.
Sounds like he can sing too, or am I crazy?
This old money game. Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate, when they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say proudly through gritted teeth, it's my right to hate, that's freedom of speech. But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder that's savages, colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you'd emigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant, cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent, I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome, and also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or...
He's not wrong, and we're not going to go into that battle. He's not wrong, and at the same time, like, this has happened since the beginning of time. Where people want to conquer other lands, they do. They make it a state. I mean, we've had countries that have come and gone, literally. You know, I mean, Persia, Siam, like these countries, and I don't think Siam was a country. Maybe it was. That Persia was a country, and there were Babylon, for goodness sake. You know what I mean? Like, all of these places that once existed as this big, like, territory, I should say is probably a better word rather than country, but a big territory, and was owned or was being run by or ruled over by a specific group, get overthrown. I mean, Rome was in Israel, for goodness sakes. They were in the Galilee. I mean, if you go looking at the story of Jesus Christ in the New Bible, they're talking about the Romans and how they were in Galilee. I mean, this has been happening since the beginning of time, you know. It doesn't mean that there shouldn't be some kind of law and order. My opinion. That's my opinion. Doesn't mean that there shouldn't be some kind of law and order. And it's not necessarily racist to say, hey, you're an immigrant. Yeah, we're all immigrants. This is true. But the people who are born here, the people who are living here, like, and who came here and did, you know, are not part of what happened hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago. This is what we consider to be our land. And you go to other countries and they have the military at the borders ready to shoot people down if you cross their border illegally, right? It's there. It happens everywhere around the world. So it's just very interesting to me that it gets, like, pigeonholed into one specific place. That's not okay, because it happens literally everywhere. And he's making that point here clear in this song too. Like, you know, the Britons came from the Romans were from here, and, you know, they were German and this and that. And so, you know, it's, there's so much I can say to this, and I'm trying not to, like, go all in, but there's so much to be said about what he's saying right now. There really is.
You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play on repeat, the same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak, our opinions aren't our own, and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right, in the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 a storm it comes our way, and those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we'd like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. funny game.
I'd like to understand the symbolism of this, though. Because I'm sure there is one. And I'm just not familiar enough with Ren to be able to say makes sense to me. If I'm looking at it, and I am, is he supposed to be the sheep who's just follow along with everybody he says, and he's like the guy who's really behind the money game? Is that what I'm supposed to understand? I'm not sure if that's what I'm understanding correctly. And the subtitles on here are not that great, guys. So I'm reading them and trying to listen and look around at everything at the same time. But it's very like forlorning, the whole video, because it's just this guy sitting playing guitar and he's completely covered and being mistreated. And then you have Ren who's walking around like he's the one in power. So I'm just curious, like, if he's talked about the symbolism. And by the way, I want to check out the YouTube 1 million because you guys keep throwing that out there. So I want to take a look at that. I'm going to end up looking at that at a later time, but I want to do this first. Seems very, very heavy in so many ways. That's certainly a way to end it. I'm kind of like stumped on this. I'm actually pretty speechless on this one, guys. There was a lot said, and visually, I'm a little confused. But at the same time, it makes sense. And I don't understand why it makes sense completely yet. I need to think on this one. This guy, he really does make me think, man. He makes me think. I freaking love this guy, man. He makes me think a lot. But his words, his lyrics are like, they're pretty heavy. They're talking about some real, he's talking about some real stuff right now. All right, that's going to do it for this one. If you like the content, you know what to do. And you know you want to do it. So make sure you check it out in the description box below. In the meantime, live your lives fabulously, which seems kind of weird to say considering we just saw that. But I will see you on the next one. Bye.